So I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you have just seen the comprehensive roast of Total Drama World Tour, my full-length review of Total Drama Season 3. And also, I'm assuming you've kind of been through this before. Basically, after doing every single one of those videos, which are heavily scripted and edited, I like to do a relatively unscripted, just little reflection on the characters and which ones I like the most and which ones I like the least. Excuse me. So, yeah, I'm just gonna do a tier list of the Total Drama World Tour characters, not including non-contestants. So it's not gonna include like Chris and Chef. Actually, I need to make a little adjustment. So yeah, S tier is obviously the best of the best. Really, just kind of insane level of quality. A is very, very good. B is great. C is relatively okay. D is bad, and F is like intolerable. But really, there's not going to be a lot of D's and F's this time around. Yeah, so let's just get into it. Alejandro is the first one. I don't know if I'm going to go in complete order, but I'll start with Alejandro. I'm going between S and A. I think he's a really great villain. He did so much that made the season so entertaining. He's just a great character. Really, sometimes funny, sometimes just like deliciously evil. But I guess for me, I'm gonna put him in A for now, just because I've never been like so obsessed with him or so enamored with him as a character that I felt like the special kind of S tier appreciation for him. But still, A is very good. Alejandro is an amazing character. S is just kind of reserved for very personal, like, favorites, I guess. Blainely is next. Ooh, that's difficult. Because, like, all things considered, Blainely was kind of stupid. She's just kind of a stupid character that feels like she takes up space. But, at this, and some people don't like her at all, but I think she's kind of funny. Like, she just adds a special kind of, a different kind of humor than usual to the show. And the thing is, she didn't really, like, overstay her welcome. So I think I'm gonna put her in B. Because I think she was funny for as long as she needed to be. I guess I would say that I don't like, how she became just in a stretcher covered in bandages and stuff at the end of the season, and everyone kind of made fun of her. I talk about that more in the video, but I don't really feel like that reflects on her in the same way. Maybe it does. I don't know. Really, she's kind of between B and C. I'll leave her in B for now because I'm feeling nice. So then we have Bridgette. Oh, it's difficult. Bridgette's always been pleasant. I mean, I don't think there's like ever really a time where she's just intolerable. I guess I'd say I'm mad at her for kissing Al, but I still think she's just a really cool-headed character. Even if she didn't do much this season, I've always felt like she really rounds out the aftermath, so I'll keep her in B. Cody's an A. Cody is probably one of the most interesting characters here in terms of how he went from Island to World Tour. He was one of the few lucky characters that was kind of neglected in action, but kind of got a whole second life this time around, and really he's just hilarious. Especially because they kind of with Sierra, who we'll talk about later, they really kind of gave him a whole new they changed the jokes they make about him. Because really all he did in the first season was just kind of be a dork, and he's still a dork here. But he was like a desperate person. He just wanted attention and stuff. And it's funny that in the third season, he finally gets it, and he realizes it's like the worst thing ever. So I've always found that funny. Okay, before I get to Courtney, because that's a whole bag of worms, I'll go with DJ. I've heard people say DJ is kind of flanderized in this season, but honestly, I don't really think so. I mean, I think his whole, like, mama thing didn't start until season 2, and that's always been kind of, like, corny, but I don't know. I think sometimes people forget how DJ's always been, like, comedically cowardly. I mean, you have to rewatch the horror movie episode of the first season where he's just running around screaming because he literally sees Heather. So I think the whole kind of implication that he's more cowardly than he used to be is not really true. Some people don't like the curse, and I thought, yeah, it's kind of a silly plot point, but, you know, I said it in the review that a lot of the sillier things they do in this season aren't really that bad, and they don't usually waste too much time, so I'll let DJ be and B. You know, he's still likable, he's still fun, so good for him. Get a swig of water. I'm running out of, like... I'll go with Tyler. Tyler's in B. Really, I think that he got a lot more deserved attention, I think. You know, Tyler's a great character, but he wasn't really utilized in season 1. But I think he kind of found new life. Also, I mean, I brought up in the video how the whole Lindsay not knowing who Tyler thing is kind of ridiculous. Who Tyler is thing kind of is ridiculous, and it is. But you know, I still think it's funny. That's the thing. Even though World Tour can sometimes be a little bit ridiculous, I still think they do a good job at keeping things entertaining. And you know, I think it's fun when he kind of like gets involved with Alejandro, not in like the meme way, but you know, he kind of like becomes like a henchman, but still he's sometimes really useless. You know, Tyler's just funny, and the slapstick is probably better this season with Tyler than it was in season 1. So good for Tyler, man. Okay, Izzy, I'll put Izzy in A. I probably shouldn't, but I think Izzy is just, it's like she's a special character. I just think Izzy is just pretty much always entertaining if they need her to be. Okay, so Duncan, I'm gonna put him in B. I mean, he doesn't really do much this season, other than kiss Gwen, but, you know, as I said in the video, it doesn't really even last that long. I mean, he kisses Gwen, and that's just kind of, that whole plot point is kind of thrown in the gutter. God, now I'm thinking of putting him in C. I mean, after that, I mean, it's kind of interesting seeing him, you know, play in the game. He's funny in that way, so I think that keeps him in B. But if he wasn't just entertaining on his own, without the whole Courtney Gwen drama, he would probably be lower. But yeah, Courtney, I can't believe I'm doing this. C. I'm pretty well known for being a big Courtney fan, and the thing is, Courtney for the first half of the season is all right. I mean, her dynamic with the rest of Team Amazon's hilarious. Her bickering with Heather's hilarious. Just I mean, she's a funny character. But once Duncan happens, once Duncan cheats on her, like everything about her just gets worse. And you know, I mean, I'm not mad at the writers for making Courtney angrily respond to it. That's fair enough. But she just becomes very one-dimensionally angry and malicious towards the people around her. I mean, she starts throwing games. She eventually she starts throwing games and just kind of whines a lot. It's not doing much for me, and really it only gets worse from here. Yeah, I think the writers miscalculated what people like most about Courtney. They kind of thought that her neuroticism and anger was the only thing that mattered, when it's not. But after season 3, I mean, she just... So, yeah. I mean, I'll let her be a C just because first half of the season's fine. Pretty great, actually. But it just, you know, once the whole drama thing kicks in, everything about her stops being likable. You heard me whine about it in the video. I don't really need to keep going here. Ezekiel. This is also a difficult one. Because the thing is, like, you know, I don't really like the whole Gollum Ezekiel thing. I think it's kind of uncomfortable, to be honest. just kind of weird. But for what it's worth, I think that I I admire the kind of dedication they did. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's something like even though I think it was a little too dark, I admire the ambition. I admire the ambition of making Ezekiel into a feral golem-like monster and having him steal the money and fall into a volcano. So because of that, I guess let him be a C. You know. Uh, Gwen, I'll let her be a B. You know, because there's still like core likable things about Gwen, even with the whole cheating thing, and even after the whole even with the whole drama, she doesn't like stop being entertaining or likable. It's just they just didn't give her much to work with, I guess. Yeah. I'm thinking. Yeah, I think even though I don't like the direction they took with her in this season, I don't think they totally just kind of I think her core character the same isn't that different than what it was in Island in Action. So I think she can take the B. Because at her core she's still a likable character. I like her a lot, so Harold is gonna get a B. He'd probably almost get an A if he stayed longer. I think his whole behavior in the Japan episode is just great. But after that, I don't really think he does that much. But for what he does pretty well. Okay. We're getting to the good ones. All right, Heather, S tier. It's not even a question. It was a question for a while. I was thinking to myself, maybe she's A. I don't think this season really has any S tier characters, but honestly, upon rewatching it, I'm just stunned by how well Heather is characterized in this season. Like, it's not even like worth discussing, at least with myself, like whether or not Heather is S tier. I mean, she is the center of the season, really, in the best way possible. I mean, she is funny. She's hilarious. I mean, every single episode has her like say some catty line that's just like laugh out loud funny. But she also serves a really interesting narrative purpose. So, yeah, I mean, no complaints really. Heather is fantastic. I guess my only really real complaint is that they didn't give her enough time to celebrate when she won. Yeah, great. Lashawna, I'll give her B, because, Lashawna at her core is entertaining, but I don't think she really did anything stand out. She was kind of in and out pretty quickly. But, Lashawna's still entertaining and stuff, so good for her. Not much to say, really. Lindsay, I'm kind of torn. Because the whole forgetting who Tyler is thing is kind of stupid. But I think the season handled it pretty well. They just had fun with it. And it didn't really have an uncomfortable, lasting impact on anything like other things in the season did. And Lindsay's still funny. I wouldn't say she's as good as she is in Action, where I think I gave her an A, but she's still great here. So yeah. Noah, the comeback king, gets an A. Like, I guess my only complaint about Noah and World Tour is that there wasn't enough Noah and World Tour. I was doing some research and looking for footage, and I found out he only has like 2 confessions in the whole season. But with what little he has, he's still just great. He's so great. I mean, he adds a special like flavor of cynicism to the show's comedy that is really just right up my alley, I think. So Noah, I love you, Noah. Great character. Owen, I'll put him in A too. I'm a little torn between A and B. I'll keep him in A. I think Owen is like the show's old reliable, I guess. They know how to write Owen well and make him funny, and I think this season's no exception. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. And honestly, they're probably not I think, one thing that I'll appreciate about how this season is that they didn't lean as much on the fart stuff. There's still fart stuff, and I'm not even always like unhappy about the fart stuff, but I feel like you know, the whole friendship he kind of had with Noah is really great. The way he kind of like kept trying to be friends with Alejandro, despite how much Alejandro hated him, is hilarious. I think the whole scene in the Rapa Nui episode where Alejandro looks through Owen's like Moai statue thing and can't find anything, and he says like, Owen once again cursing me with uselessness or something, is just hilarious. So Owen is just a safe pick. You know, I think they've always written him well. And yeah. And we rounded out with Sierra. And this was hard because I don't think she's as, you know, just narratively essential as Heather is. I keep looking here because that's where I have myself on camera. It's kind of stupid. I shouldn't be doing that. It's too late, though. I don't think she's as narratively, like, essential as Heather is, but for me personally, she is just so entertaining that I think I'm going to put her in S tier. I really think I am. Just because of... I made it pretty clear in the video. I just think Sierra is hilarious. Just absolutely entertaining basically wherever she is at all times. It's just... yeah. You know, I can't get enough of her. I think she's just amazing as a character. She's just endlessly funny. And that's a kind of personal thing. I think Sierra's brand of humor isn't for everyone. I think some people don't really like the way Cody doesn't have a say in what she does to him. That might be a little uncomfortable for some people, but for me, it's just, I like it too much. I think it's too funny. So I really think Sierra, to me, is one of the funniest characters, like, period, in all the shows I've ever watched. And yeah. So that was my whole Total Drama World Tour tier list. Frankly, they did pretty well. A lot of higher up ones, and I think, you know, as I said in the video, Total Drama World Tour, at least for me, it really plays to its strengths. You know, we get a lot of Sierra. I mean, you can see up here, final 4 characters, and these are probably the 4 characters that get the most attention throughout the season. Definitely these 3. I guess Cody might be in 4th, but he might have competition with like Duncan or Gwen or Courtney. I don't know. But these 4, like, such a great final 4. Like, they rival the Heather, Owen, Duncan, Gwen group from season 1. So I mean, this show spends the most time with the characters I like the most. So it's just a season I love because of that. And yeah, so thank you for watching. I'm assuming you watched my 3-hour video, but if you didn't, I recommend checking it out. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. And yeah, bye.